Hello everyone, it's Eric from Coffee, Beers, and Bow Ties, and we're here today to do another Suit Up and Brew Up. Today we have some coffee from Rochester, New York, from Brewed and Gritty. The coffee we have is their Ambition coffee. Right there, Ambition. Out of all the coffees that they have, I chose this one because of that word, ambition. The definition, which I have right here, is a strong desire to achieve something, typically requiring determination and hard work. And as I prepare to do these Suit Up and Brew Ups, I research the company as much as I can online, from Instagram, whether that's DMing the roasters themselves, and I come up with a framework on how I want to proceed with these brews. I think this is a really dope company, Bold and Gritty. When I received the coffee, I also received an envelope with some good information inside of it. So we're gonna open this up and see what's in it. Here we have a picture of David Paul himself, and it gives you some information on the back about who he is and what he's all about. And here we have a picture of Julian, who is also a member of the Bold and Gritty family. So I'm gonna let you guys know over there, Bold and Gritty, Julian and Dr. Paul, you guys are gonna go up right here on the refrigerator. That's the wall of fame right there. So you're part of the family now, and you guys get to go on the fridge. So when the next time you watch this, look over my shoulder, you'll see your picture hanging right over there. So thank you so much. So not only do they send that, they send a nice thank you card, which I think is really dope. And you also get a business card with their contact information, and there's a really nice sticker in here too. So I think that's really important to be able to connect with the rest of the with your community, to send them a little something extra to let them know that you're thinking about them. But as I stated before, I already had like a framework in my mind on how I wanted this brew to go, and this morning that all changed. So as I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and rinse the filter. And by the way, today we're going to be brewing our Ambition coffee today on the Chemex. We're going to follow the recipe Bold and Gritty has on their website, their recipe, which is a 1:15 ratio. We're going to do 46 grams of coffee, which we're going to use about 700 grams of water, maybe 690. I think that's the precise number. But I like brewing with the Chemex. It's a really elegant way to brew coffee. I love all the other brewing methods as well, but if I'm really feeling, I'm really feeling a certain kind of way, I will pull out the Chemex, and there's a certain elegance to brewing with this device. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and rinse our filter. Our water's already been heated to 205, and so we're going to go ahead and get that filter rinsed, and then we're going to temper the glass. So okay, we're going to do 46 grams of coffee. 46.4. All right. And then before we go further than that, I would like to send a special shout out to TCE Brewing for recommending the Baratza. This is a new addition to our coffee collection. We got rid of the $20 Amazon, which served us well, but as we are really getting more serious into brewing, you got to get some serious equipment. So we got the Baratza Encore right here, and this thing is a champ. So we're going to go ahead and get our coffee into the baratza, and we're going to grind that up. Okay, so as per the baratza grind list for Chemex, it's recommended at a grind setting of 20, and this is what 20 looks like. So we're going to take this 46 grams of coffee, put it inside of the filter, give it a quick shake. That's what that looks like. Okay, so we're gonna zero this out, and so with 46 grams of coffee, we're gonna do the first pour for blooming. So we're gonna do about 90 grams of water to do the bloom for 30 seconds. And turn it this way so you can see on that side. And we have 90. Start the timer. So getting back to the story at hand, I already knew that I wanted to do a video highlighting my experience with New York. Again, my wife's from Brooklyn. I wanted to just talk about how enjoyable my time was in New York, all that stuff, and make those kind of connections. I watched The Doctor this morning, and my whole narrative, my mindset changed because it talked about something a little bit more personal, and that's what I want you guys to know about me, something a little bit more personal. And so as you may know, that I completed 23 years of military service. I joined when I was 18 years old, right out of high school, and I was enlisted. I was an E1, which means I started out at the very, very bottom of the barrel. But as the coffee that I'm drinking right now talks about being bold, and it talks about grit, and it talks about being ambitious, all those things I learned over the years, and it allowed me to transcend from being an enlisted person to becoming a chief petty officer, which is an E7. And so that's our bloom time. We're going to keep going. Don't let me forget where I was at. And so we're going to go the remainder of the way till we get to 690 on the water. So I became a chief petty officer, which is an E7, and then ultimately I was able to I received a commission in the Navy as an officer. And after 23 years, 22 years, 9 months, 18 days, I transitioned. I retired from the Navy, or considered transitioning to the civilian community, and I was at a crossroads on whether I wanted to continue to work maybe for the government, or just work in general, or do something for myself. And so Coffee, Beers, and Bow Ties is a product of that. While I was on active duty, I got my bachelor's, I got my barber's license, because community meant a lot to me. Being inside the barbershop, the conversations, all those things that makes community, it meant something to me. Traveling around the world with the military, it meant something to me. Stopping at small coffee shops and, getting to know the locals, or just being with a friend and having coffee, all of those things meant something. And so when I started reading more, I started reading Bold and Gritty's page again. I said, well, I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit more about myself. I even went back to school and got my master's in business from USC, the Trojans, fight on. And, the rest, it's so much of that story is that so much of my story, I'll have time in the future to, to really share those things, with you. But just off of the cuff, all of these things, these emotions and these thoughts and these ideas are things that came to mind by drinking this coffee and connecting with this story and, making it relevant to who I am. And, I think that's really dope. So that's a little bit about me. I'm excited to, well, I've already tasted the coffee. I've been drinking it already. But I'm excited to have this first sip of Bold and Gritty's Ambition coffee with you guys. So we're at 6:04. So we're gonna keep brewing this down. I'll take it to a smooth 7. So we'll push that back. We've got the Bold and Gritty there, and then we'll let this drip down the rest of the way. And so another part of the connection that I've made with this particular coffee is, of course, you see the person on the horse. And so I'm gonna just say this just as a note. I've only been horseback riding one time, and that was in 2008, I believe it was. 2008 it was. My wife and I took a trip to Aruba, and we went on a horseback riding tour. And I don't know, you guys are gonna have to really convince me to get back on the horse, because the horse that they gave me, he and I made an eye connection, and he told me, look, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And I didn't. And so, I think I'm a little bit traumatized from the experience. I think they gave me a Mustang, and this thing, I don't know what his deal was, but he and I, we didn't see eye to eye. And so I've been on an emotional and reflection roller coaster when it comes to this Bold and Gritty. And, I think that's really dope. Their coffees, I order a lot of coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. I make videos for coffee companies or with the coffees that I really enjoy that take me to a special place, and this coffee definitely is taking me to a special place. So with that being said, I think our drip is about done, and I'm ready to do a little sip with you. So we're going to get this filter out of the way, and here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I know it looks delicious, right? All right, so coffee, beers, and bow ties, which I did not highlight the ensemble today. So I think I shall. All right, so I have on the charcoal gray window pane or plaid pattern jacket with the charcoal gray vest to accompany and highlight it. I have the bow tie here, we say burnt red or burgundy to highlight. I have my school pen, the white pocket square for the shirt, and got the nice fresh haircut. No hat today, no fedora, because I wanted to really come across with that bold and gritty. So what's bold and gritty about what you have on? Well, check the Instagram page out. Check out the shoes. My oldest daughter bought me those shoes. So love you, Ashley. I appreciate the shoes, and so that's where we are. So those are the bold side of this brew. Okay, so coffee, beers, and bow ties. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about me. Of course, naturally, I have some pictures flashing up on this video feed. Hope you enjoyed them. To my friends, to my family over at Bold and Gritty, thank you so much for allowing me to join your family. You're definitely part of ours and a part of our story. And so I connected with you guys on so many different levels. And so I just want to say I appreciate it. And you guys make some incredible coffee. So coffee, beers, and bow ties. See you guys on the next Suit Up and Brew Up.